Hello, and welcome to the first episode of, I don't know what I'm going to call this. Maybe 205 Live Drive? I don't know. I'm not technically driving, but I am your host, Micah. You can follow me at Twitter, at Micah Kool-Aid, and I am here to talk about 205 Live. I've been saying for a couple of weeks now that I was going to do a review of 205 Live and NXT, but actually last night 205 Live was 30 minutes, and I highly enjoyed it. It was very good. 30 minutes ain't nothing. I can bang that out in a few minutes and produce a pretty good show. I am now in the great production room of my car. I am at work. I'm taking my 15 minutes because I love you guys and I love wrestling. And if I can spend my 15 minutes to bring some wrestling to you, I'm going to do it. So let's start the show. So 205 Live happened last night after SmackDown and the inaugural first episode of the Mixed Match Challenge. It started at 10:30 and was only 30 minutes, as I said, and a very, very good 30 minutes. So the very beginning of the show actually opened with TJP parentheses Erkins versus Grand Metalik, and very good match. Very, very good match. Highly recommend you go out of your way to watch it. The storyline is that TJP parentheses Erkins has been injured for the past, I want to say, like 3, maybe 4 months, and not been on the show. He actually showed up on the first 205 Live of 2018 and got a win over, I want to say, Akira Tozawa. The following week, last week, he fought Grand Metalik, who he had defeated originally in the Cruiserweight Classic in just a sparring seminar match, and Grand Metalik won. That's very unlike WWE, because when they bring back a person, especially someone that I believe that they have a lot of confidence in, TJP parentheses Erkins, and they brought him back. I thought he would win a lot more, but he was defeated last week by Grand Metalik. And okay, so match, but this match was far better. It was very fast paced, very quick, very crisp, very good, very reminiscent to the original Cruiserweight Classic match that they had almost over a year ago. Grand Metalik definitely showed that he is what his nickname is, which is the King of the Ropes, with plenty of springboard moves off of the ropes. He did a springboard backflip. He did a springboard over the top rope elbow drop. He did a springboard crossbody from the top rope. Grand Metalik looked amazing, and Grand Metalik is amazing. He is fantastic, and I'm very happy that they're giving him the opportunity to really show what he is capable of. And TJP showed his striking capabilities, his expertise in the ring, his ring savviness. He did great, and I highly recommend to go watch this match. TJP kept trying to mount an offense, but Grand Metalik would just outmaneuver him with his speed and ingenuity, and eventually TJP got the upper hand when Grand Metalik tried a back elbow from the second rope, and TJP did a drop kick to the back of Grand Metalik's shoulder neck area. Sold it very well. He started to get a little more offense than did TJP parentheses Erkins, and eventually TJP was about to hit his detonation kick on Grand Metalik, but Grand Metalik reversed it into a roll-up and got the 1-2-3 victory. Grand Metalik celebrated. They actually showed Kalisto in the back watching on television of his new best friend. Grand Metalik celebrating. He was very happy about it. And it was a very, very good match. Highly recommend for you to go check it out. And the crowd responded great. And actually, this 205 Live crowd for tonight was excellent. They responded. They definitely were into TJP parentheses Erkins, as well as into Grand Metalik. It was super fun. They gasped at everything that Grand Metalik did, and they cheered when he won. They booed TJP when he was on offense. There was a slight TJP chant going on, actually a loud enough one, and there was a Lucha Libre chant going on. A crowd can make a show, and a crowd into 205 Live is what I want to see, because I love these guys. They had a second segment of Jack Gallagher calling out Hideo Itami. Once again, if you're not familiar, Hideo Itami debuted on Raw, I want to say almost about a month ago, and he earlier this year, I think the first Raw of 2018, he had a match against Brian Kendrick. He did the GTS and fractured, if not broke, Brian Kendrick's orbital bone, is his eye area, and he will be out for the next 2 to 3 months. He might be back in time for Mania. Either way, Brian Kendrick was teaming with darn it, I keep thinking about that really good match. He was teaming with Jack Gallagher and mentoring him. So now Jack Gallagher is saying that since you hurt my friend and my mentor, I'm going to take over his mantle of the man with the plan. I'm going to be the one to take you down. You'll never know when I'm going to strike. I'll hit you from above. I'll hit you from below. I'll hit you from the sides. You won't know when I'm coming, but I'm coming to get you, Hideo, because I am destruction. I am belligerent. I am brutality. I am Jack Gallagher. It was a very good promo from Gallagher. Gallagher really doesn't have a lot of clout with me because ever since he turned heel around, I want to say September, October of last year, he's lost every single match that I have any records of watching since being heel. He does nice work. They took away a lot of his je ne sais quoi, a lot of his quirks, but he came back with a lot more meaner streak, a lot more submission-based moves and stuff. And if they can get him some wins and a little more credibility, because he's doing great with the character work, he can be a great asset for the show and be one of the number ones. I don't know what I was doing with my hands. It seemed right. Either way, that brings us into Cedric Alexander and Goldust out at the front of the stage. People were very into Goldust, and when they're into Goldust takes that energy and transfers it over to Cedric Alexander, who is also garnering a lot of attention from the crowd. The crowd was very much into them. Goldust talked about how he is very good friends with Cedric, and while their friendship may be starting small now, might be a little flicker, it's going to grow into something huge because he very much believes in Cedric, and he believes he's going to be the next Cruiserweight champion after the Royal Rumble and after he beats our current Cruiserweight champion, Enzo Amore. It was nice, and Cedric also did a promo of himself stating that he believes in Goldust and he's happy that he believes in him, and they're going to be great friends. And he's better than a teammate and a mentor. He's a friend to Cedric, and out came Enzo. During the promo between Goldust and Cedric, Goldust did his normal stick as of late of quoting movie lines. I want to say it was from The Godfather. And it was, as I was saying, from The Godfather. Sorry that the camera's much closer all of a sudden. There were some technical issues. The phone was out in the sun a little bit too much, and it kind of overheated, so it kind of shut itself down from the video. But whatever, you're still here. Hopefully you're just close to my face, and we're closer together. You get to see my outfit. It is a little bit too sunny now to be wearing this. Either way, as I was saying, that Cedric and Goldust were interrupted by Enzo. Enzo said that they're a bunch of jamooks. Also, Enzo came out with his old train of Drew Gulak, Arya Daivari, and Tony Nese. And they're talking about, Enzo's talking about how Goldust is less of a star than he is, then Enzo has already obtained higher heights than him, and Cedric will never ever reach the heights that Enzo has. They are better than them, and they're gonna Enzo is just much better than the both of them. Goldust takes offense to this and says, well, if you're so much better than me, why don't you come in here and fight me and find out? Which Enzo obliges and hobbles down a little bit, but eventually actually stops and says, you know what? I'm not going to grace you with the match with me. How about you versus all three members of the WrestleTrain? And Goldust says, sure, all right, why not? So it's Goldust versus Arya Daivari, Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak in a 3-on-1 handicap match. And Goldust, while he is old, is still very much a spring chicken. He goes really fast and definitely knows his move, definitely knows his way around the ring, and showed those guys up. Did arm drags, rope ring things, running the ropes, Definitely kept dealing with the guys as they kept coming, and Cedric was outside, never got involved until the very end, where actually Arya Davari had ran at Goldust, and Goldust actually had dispensed of him and Arya Davari outside of the ring. Tony Nese took that chance and opportunity to run and do a tope con hilo over the top rope to Goldust, but Goldust moved and Tony Nese landed on Arya Davari, thus neutralizing him. Enzo got over there to try and kind of ride the troops up, but Cedric did a tope suicida through the middle rope to hit Enzo and neutralize him. Inside the ring, Drew Gulak is freaking out and saying, "No dives, why are you all diving?" Because his character is Noah High Flying, which is fantastic. I love Drew Gulak. Trust me, anytime that he was going to be on, I'm going to talk about him because he is amazing. Either way, Drew Gulak is freaking out inside the ring. Goldust has snuck up behind him, hits the final cut, and gets the pinfall victory. Thus, Goldust has beaten 3 cruiserweights all by himself. Good match. While I'm saying how much Goldust is still a formidable threat, he is still old-ish. There was a time where he was in the corner of the bad guys and they were stomping on him, and normally you kind of, oh no, I'm getting beat up. He kind of just laid there like ooh, I'm invisible. Like, he didn't move, he just laid there, and they were stomping him, and they were also being very gentle on their stomps, trying not to hurt him. This 205 Live, as I said, was only 30 minutes, but it was great. From top to bottom, from beginning to end, it had everything that the Cruiserweight should be. It had a very fast-paced, good match that people should watch and showed the Cruiserweight's actual talents. There wasn't any rest holds, there wasn't any plotting, there wasn't anything WWE about it. It was quick, fast-paced action. There was the development of cruelty from Jack Gallagher, and the relationship between Goldust and Cedric Alexander and the WrestleTrain was building up more in anticipation for Cedric Alexander versus Enzo Amore at the Royal Rumble. I imagine next week Enzo is going to get the final laugh to lead up into the Royal Rumble. I don't know who's going to win at the Royal Rumble, but I do enjoy 205 Live. I'm probably going to do the segments more like this, mostly because they are, if they stick to this 30 minutes time frame for 205 Live, because I mean, technically it worked. I was very much into it. The crowd was very much into it. I enjoyed 205 Live. I regularly enjoy 205 Live. I think those guys are great. That's the show. I hope you enjoyed yourself. It's a new format. I'm still trying to work it out. Hopefully there won't be any other technical issues. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up. Ring-a-ding-ding that bell. And I'm your host, Micah. You can follow me on Twitter at Micah Kool-Aid. I'm going to give you 2 claps and a 2 sweet, and I'm out.